Welcome to ChannelX TV. Chris here, Editor-in-Chief of ChannelX. Delighted to welcome Tom Baker with us today, ahead of ChannelX World Conference, which is taking place on the 11th of October. If you've not got your ticket yet, for all retailers, brands, direct-to-consumer businesses, you can get a free ticket by visiting channelxworld.com, and we'd love to welcome you on the 11th of October. But welcome, Tom. How are you today?
I'm very well, Chris. Thanks for inviting me onto the show.
So very excited because you're going to be presenting at ChannelX World. But first of all, for those that don't know you, who are you and what does FordeBaker do?
Yeah, so I'm Tom Baker. I'm not the Tom Baker. I'm the other one.
You're not Doctor Who.
No, so don't Google my name because you'll get a very different character. But yeah, so I'm Tom. I am the founder, CEO of FordeBaker. We are a marketplace agency, sort of global in our sort of outlook. So we have a very sort of international team and an international group of clients. Most of our work has historically been with Amazon, but in the sort of recent times, we've expanded that out to eBay, Mano Mano, Walmart, TikTok, which I'm sure we'll come on to in a bit. And we're really a sort of full service agency that's there to deliver growth for brands, sellers that really can leverage everything that marketplaces have to offer.
So tell me a bit about Tom. How did you come to set up an e-commerce agency?
So it was really born out of my own experience when I was in-house. So I was head of marketing for a toy business, and sort of came in on day one, this sort of like 7-ish years ago. They said, Tom, you need to get us onto Amazon. And they were scared of it and nobody wanted to take ownership of it. But as a toy business, obviously they needed to be there. I got zero experience of Amazon at that time, but I understood the responsibilities I had as part of that senior team, and I had to go and make that happen. So, but the first thing I did was go and look for an agency. Like, I've got no experience of it, but I know there's a big opportunity.
It's what you do, look for some help.
Exactly, yeah. So I wanted that sort of expertise and specialization that an agency should be able to offer. But at the time, particularly in the UK, I couldn't find an agency that would meet our requirements. And they were essentially, are they full service? Can they do this globally? And are they really working at a sort of, and I hesitate to use the word enterprise because it sounds a bit too corporate and bureaucratic, but at a really high level of delivery, and just couldn't find anyone really at the time. So we just did it ourselves, and we made a load of mistakes, but we also had lots of wins with it, and it quickly became a really important part of the business, a third of the company's revenue in a relatively short space of time. But I always had this idea in my head that if I've got these challenges, there must be a multitude of other people within marketing e-commerce on the brand side that are asking the same questions, have got the same challenges, and need the type of service that I wanted as well. So I left that toy company, and then that was sort of the genesis of FordeBaker. Really, is always sort of that idea in mind of like, what is it that head of e-commerce, that head of marketing at a brand, what do they actually need from an agency? And we've built something that delivers against my initial requirements of being very global, full service, and can really grow with the business and sort of take them on that journey through Amazon and other marketplaces. And that capability is all there within the team to do that.
So talk to me a little bit about FordeBaker today. What sort of clients do you have? Which marketplaces are they on? Because you've already mentioned it's a lot more than just Amazon today with Mano Mano, eBay, TikTok. What's the shape of the agency today?
So I think one of the benefits of us being full service is that we get a real wide variety of clients. That means that we've got clients in all sorts of different categories, in different countries, and at different sizes, really. The sort of most common type of client, if you like, is a sort of medium-sized business that's pretty well known within their niche. And Amazon and marketplace is a fundamental part of their sales strategy, really. They could be, we have startups, we have businesses that are transforming from quite a traditional retail model, and then there's a D2C, like the awakening of D2C and how marketplaces plays a role in that direct-to-consumer operation. So it is a real variety of businesses. I think the one thing that sort of ties them all together is just that realization and ambition to make the most of what marketplaces can offer. And obviously the beauty of it is, as you know, is just the rapid scale that can be achieved, whether that is to grow particular products, to expand internationally, to go into multiple marketplaces. It can all happen. You just need the know-how of how to do that and to sort of minimize the mistakes along the way and maximize opportunity. And that's really what we're doing.
Amazing. Now, you're holding a workshop at ChannelX World on the 11th of October. What can people expect to learn at your workshop? Why should they come along?
So, welcome everyone to come along and come and meet us and have a chat with us. I think when I was thinking about what I'm actually going to be talking about, I wanted to do something that was quite novel, that's new, but also going to have an impact, is having an impact, and I think will have a big impact over the next few years. So it's really sort of catching on to those trends, but things that I think will be around. It's not just a fad. So what that all means really is that TikTok Shop, that is what I'm going to be talking about. As an agency, and being really honest with everyone, it was not on our radar 6 months ago. We were aware of what TikTok is, and people in the team use TikTok, but obviously more as a social product. The sort of growth of TikTok Shop, and more importantly, the clear aspirations that TikTok has in the sort of marketplace and e-commerce space, and actually seeing them actually start to execute against that, really caught our attention. So we want to share kind of our learnings from this sort of 6-month period that we've had of learning about TikTok Shop, what our clients are starting to think about TikTok Shop, the reaction we've had from clients, how we're approaching it with different types of clients, different, obviously, brands, different product types, different price points, all those things really that we've just learned along the way, and start to share that with everyone, because I'm sure lots of people have been reading about TikTok Shop and maybe even trialing it themselves. But
this is actually really interesting, because we've got Fred, the head of FMCG at TikTok Shop, talking in the opening keynote. Your session starts during the morning coffee break. Your session is 11 o'clock, so there's just time for people to come out from the opening sessions where they'll have heard from Fred of TikTok, grab a cup of tea or coffee, and get into your workshop to learn basically the TikTok Shop launch guide for brands and retailers. And then later in the day, there's another workshop from TikTok on content creation. So if someone really wants to learn about TikTok, get your ticket at channelxworld.com, because this is the place to be. And make sure in that first morning coffee break, you get yourself to your workshop, Tom, to start learning about what you've done. So talk to us about some early success from your clients on TikTok. How have they been launching, and how's it been going?
So I think, as I say, a lot of it's trial and error, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's not to say that everything that's happened has been like perfectly seamless, because it's about learning and trying it. Yeah. But
TikTok, to be honest, it is a bit of a wild west. It's a totally different experience to any other marketplace I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you think back to when eBay started and when Amazon started, obviously there was a lot to learn, and but also there was the freedom and the space to make mistakes without it having that much of a cost to a business. So I think that's the way we've been approaching it with our clients, is just to say, now's the time to learn. Don't hold back from it. Let's go and do it. and see what happens, and just be open-minded to that. Obviously, there's a strategy and a plan that goes alongside that, but what the actual outcome of that will be, who knows? But let's just put out best effort
And
into
hopefully you're going to share that strategy and plan in your workshop.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. Yeah.
tell me about the success of businesses. Has it kind of diverted traffic from their other channels and marketplaces?
No, I think it's a really interesting point. So, and when we've been talking to clients, obviously one of the first things they say is like, is it going to cannibalize my sales? And obviously that's a conversation we have with business when they go from their website to Amazon. It's inevitable. It's a good question to ask, but we've not seen that at all, really, because, and it's the same principle with Amazon. There is a core group of people. There's a lot of people on Amazon who will only shop on Amazon. I do it for the majority of sort of household daily goods, and there's a huge amount of people that will spend a lot of their free time on TikTok. They're not consuming media and advertising and product awareness elsewhere. So
I think there's that meme, isn't there? TikTok made me buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
They just stumble across a product and that they just have to have it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's that it does something that Amazon and other marketplaces just cannot do, which is create wide-reaching discoverability of product. Like, Amazon has really tried to create sort of that through TV shopping, on the platform, and other kinds of almost social aspects, but it's nowhere near that, and it's not part of their DNA. But that's why TikTok is obviously so different and should kind of sit alongside Amazon, because they're coming at it from very different angles, and therefore there's very little risk of cannibalizing because it's just a different experience and a different customer.
So this is really interesting. So if you want to find out more about how you can attract totally new customers to your business that's not going to cannibalize your website traffic, 11 o'clock at ChannelX World on the 11th of October. It's all the 11s. Go and see Tom. But Tom, I also want to find out, what do you personally hope to get from the event? What are you looking to learn? Who are you looking to meet?
I mean, I'd love to hear what other people's experience has been with TikTok. Like, I'm not going there to say that we know absolutely everything about TikTok, and we're still going through a period of learning ourselves as an agency. We have learned a lot, and obviously I will share all of that learning and the successes we've had. But I'd love people to come along and say, like, this is what we found. Did you find the same thing when you did this, or have you thought about this kind of pricing strategy, or this way to engage with content creators on the platform, and just to be really open and start sharing things. I think there's nothing to lose at this stage of just being really open and saying, how do we do this, and how can we help each other to kind of learn more and to scale up and take advantage of what TikTok Shop is now sort of able to deliver for businesses.
And I think that's what e-commerce is all about. It's always that iterative learning process, whether it's on a 25, 30-year-old channel like eBay and Amazon, or TikTok Shop is only less than 2 years old in the UK still, but it's always that iterative learning process. And I think that is the great thing about ChannelX World. It brings so many brands and retailers together that can share experiences and learn from each other. So, Tom, I want to thank you for your time today. Really looking forward to seeing you on the 11th of October at 11 o'clock for your workshop and throughout the day. Tickets are free for retailers and brands at channelxworld.com. And thank you so much for your time today, Tom.
And once again, thank you for inviting me on, Chris. And I look forward to meeting everyone at the